The Rovuma Partnership for Northeastern Mozambique, that started off as the Nyasa Yao Partnership a number of years ago, has three very important partners. The first one is the Igreja Reformada, which is the Reformed Church of Mozambique, and specifically one of the synods, the Tumbini Synod. And then there's about 20 something congregations down in Cape Town, Dutch Reformed Church congregations, that's also part of this partnership. And then the third partner is a group of organizations and individuals. But the major players in this partnership, the Rovuma Partnership, is the Dutch Reformed Churches from Cape Town and the Igreja Reformada, the Reformed Church. So it was very critical for us to bring these partners together. They've been trying to get together for a number of years, and there was limited success. But there was also frustration building. A lot of differences, people do not understand one another. There was a lot of assumptions being made. So in 2009, we met the annual Synod meeting in Milanji in Mozambique, where we got a delegation from South Africa representing these churches, and a representation from the missionaries up in northeastern Mozambique that these churches from South Africa is supporting, and then the leadership of the Igreja Reformada, or the Reformed Church. So we had 5 days of working through some issues. So again, we start off by expectations. We list the expectations from the churches from South Africa. We list the expectations, the expected outcomes from the members of the Igreja Reformada, and then we reworked those two sets of expectations and form one set of expectations. We clarify each one of them, we minimize duplication, and then we came up with the agenda for the day, or for the week at least. So then we started off by looking at the different assumptions that each of these groups of people bring to the table. One is from South Africa. They tend to be more Western-minded, more task-oriented. The other group was from Mozambique. They are more relational. One is more people-driven. One is more task-driven. One tends to control. The other one tends to manipulate. The churches from the West, a very strong sense of task, and then they tend to dominate the proceedings, while the churches from Africa is very more relational, and now they tend to manipulate the situation. So we work through all of these issues so that each group can really understand where they are coming from. What is the glasses they are wearing? What is the assumptions they bring to the table? Churches in Africa tend to be a little more animistic, living in a spiritual reality, where churches from the West, including South Africa, tends to be more material, more physical reality. And so we dealt with all of this in order to establish a foundation, a common framework where we can work from. So we worked through this agenda. We started off with about 17 agenda points. And it took us 5 days to work through 17 agenda points. And the level of our discussion was on the level of worldview, the level of values, the level of assumptions. Each point on the agenda was dealt with in terms of the conceptual part, getting right through to the action plan. But we were very curious to make sure that we do not assume anything. We try to lay a common foundation, a kingdom worldview foundation, so that both parties had to step out of their culture, out of their comfort zones, into embrace one set of common values based on the Word of God. And the more I'm involved in facilitating strategic planning and partnership development, the more I see the utmost importance of laying a common kingdom foundation, common biblical values, operational principles for the partnership to be effective. So as a result of this approach, we managed to get 36 decisions that was based on consensus, not majority vote, and in comparison to the previous year, we had only had 3 decisions. So the partnership have grown in 12 months from 3 common decisions made, 3 action plans, to 36 decisions made and 36 action plans. Just because of the time that we've spent in laying a foundation to work from, based on a biblical worldview, not based on assumptions, not based on the worldview of any of the groups, but establish a common understanding of what the worldview of the Bible is all about.